Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I have another plan with me video, and this time we're doing it voiceover style. I thought maybe doing a voiceover would make this video shorter, but it really didn't. The only thing it did was it allowed me to gather my thoughts and do this voiceover versus just like winging it on the fly. So if you guys are interested in seeing this super bright and colorful spread for August, let's get started. So to start off, I wanted to show you guys my planner. I noticed I never showed you the cover, but we can't stay too long there. Let's do a quick recap of the last 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, my first plan with me, I did a Sherlock in Love themed planning, the gold and rose gold, for my audition weekend. Then moving forward, we did the sunset gradient, which was last week's spread. Both of these are up on my Etsy shop if you guys are interested. And oh, guess what? I got a call back. Yes, I did. And then on Friday, I was cast in the show. I actually don't know what my role is, but I do have rehearsals this week, and I find out what I get to play. But moving forward, let's go ahead and get into this week. Before we can get started, we need to get our stickers together. So here's my beautiful new Target binder. I got this weekend, and it has all of my stickers in it. I went ahead and organized all my stickers and put them into this little Target binder. I got it in the dollar spot section. It was actually $3, not $1. And then for this week, I've got my Vintage Glam Studio stickers, which I just cut them in half. And then I have my custom ones also for this week, which I printed on full sheet and then cut in half as well. But they are up on my Etsy shop from Brains to Beauty. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to go check them out. And then I do have my YouTube stickers, and guess what? They are now peel and use stickers. What? How did I do it? I did it with an X-Acto knife. I cheated. Yes, I did. I don't have a super cool machine, so I actually just took an X-Acto knife and a ruler, and I just cut them, but it now makes them peel and stick stickers. Woohoo! And I did the same thing with the website stickers, but let's go back and get the stickers for this week and start cutting out some stickers. So here I have the 4 sheets. They're actually 2 sheets cut in half. So here I put them back together so you can see what they actually look like when I printed them out in full sheet. Again, I used the colors from the Vintage Glam Studio and I coordinated them to create custom stickers. Now here, instead of using the paper cutter like I've been doing the last few weeks, I'm going to do the X-Acto knife method, which is essentially taking the X-Acto knife and following the lines and just cutting the edges so that they're peel and stick. What I tried to do is not cut all the way through so that the backing stays intact. Otherwise, if it cuts through, you might as well just use a paper cutter like I did in the previous weeks. I will say this took a lot longer time to do it this way, but the ease of getting them off the sticker sheet was awesome, and you get a cleaner line when you do this because you get a more sharp, precise edge versus using a paper cutter. But I will say I did not cut through enough on some of these stickers, and so they kind of got stuck or they ripped on the sheet. But we ended up fixing it because I ended up going back in with the X-Acto knife like off camera and just kind of going over the lines again to make sure I went through the sticker but not all the way through the backing. It's like this crazy balance of trying not to cut through it, but you'll figure it out. Make sure if you're under the age of 18 to get parents' permission before using an X-Acto knife, because I do not want to be the reason why you are missing a finger. Of course, I did this for all 4 sheets. So now we can start getting to peeling and sticking. So here I'm actually doing the check boxes first, and I have the colors alternating, and I intentionally designed it so that you could alternate your colors and so that they would coordinate with your headers. And so I actually have the top row going from green to blue, and then the middle row from blue to yellow. And of course you can do it in any order you want. You can move the headers around, but I made custom headers as usual. And I have them say to do today in YouTube. And the Etsy version is actually just blank, so you can actually put these wherever you want. And of course I wanted to use the Vintage Glam Studio, so they actually had some blue and green check boxes. But anyway, so now for all the check boxes, I'm putting to-do stickers on because I always like my to-dos to be checklists. So I actually coordinated the colors. So the top ones are all green to-dos. do include the one from Vintage Glam Studio because, like I said, I coordinated the colors so that they would match, and they actually do match. But you'll start to notice that there's some weird gaps between the Vintage Glam Studios and the boxes because the Vintage Glam Studio boxes don't actually fit to the full box. They're slightly small. But as you can see, I have to do stickers in the blue color as well so that they would match the boxes. And then here I ended up cutting off the end with my X-Acto knife so it would match the Vintage Glam Studio box, but I will tell you right now I regretted that because I ended up removing that sticker anyway. But as you can see on the other boxes, I have this beautiful gradient. I was so excited. You have no idea, guys. I was like super duper excited. And then on the blank boxes, I'm putting the Today stickers. So I have Today stickers in green, and then I also have Today stickers in the blue color so that you've got green across the top and then blue across the middle. And as you can see, it's a full gradient from green to blue. So here I'm just taking those other full boxes from the Vintage Glam Studio, but as you can see, they're really not full boxes. They're not the full 1.5 by 1 by 9, 1.5 by 1.9. So they didn't completely fit, and that gap was super bothering me. Like the gaps totally irked me so much. So I ended up pulling them off completely and just applying my custom stickers. And I know I said I was going to use the Vintage Glam, but I had no idea that they weren't going to fit, and so I was so sad. And I've mentioned this before, but the sheets that I use are Digi Orange sheets, which I'll link down below. They're technically permanent matte stickers, so as you can see, this sticker was a pain in the butt and I was having difficulty removing it. But I did end up removing everything after a lot of fighting with the sticker and some tweezers and my nails, and I did eventually get it completely off. Once I cleaned it up, I went in with my own stickers because I did happen to make a full sheet of stickers for all 7 days. Just in case you guys don't use the Vintage Glam stickers, I wanted to make sure I made a spread that would include the entire week for you guys, and so I happen to have the extra stickers, which worked out because yeah, I was so sad. I was so sad, guys. You guys don't understand. And then I realized that the header that I had trimmed earlier was now too small and it wasn't sticking anymore, so I actually had to use repositionable tape underneath it. But it works out anyway because I ended up covering it up with a butterfly sticker later. But you guys gotta tell me, like seriously, I think it looks so much better with the matching gradient anyway. I mean, obviously I'm biased because they're my own stickers, but I think it balances out a lot better, and I like that there wasn't any gaps, minus the area where I cut it off. But then here I go in and I start applying my YouTube stickers, which as you can see matches the gradient, as mentioned, from blue to yellow. So you guys don't have to do it in this order, you can move it as you like. I just made it this way. You could put all the check boxes up top and then alternate the headers so that you still get the blue to yellow or the green to blue. So then now I'm just finishing off the bottom section with the little checklist flags. Of course, I did them in the yellow to color coordinate so that we would stick with the gradient effect. So essentially we start from green, go down to blue, all the way down to yellow. So once I finish with the checklist, I actually have these little extra strips of sticker paper, and they're just extra strips that I had cut off of my other sticker paper previously, and I use these tiny little strips to cover up the text on the bottom. Normally I would do this with washi tape, but I really wanted to just keep it really white and clean, and so I just used the excess sticker paper I had, and it worked out perfect. Like, I think I'm just going to do that from here on out because it did a great job covering up the text. Next, I'm going to use the weekend sticker that I made in my design, and as you guys can see, I got a little hang up, so I actually had to use the X-Acto knife and just really make sure I got that edge properly. And I didn't have a good place to put it, so I just put it over the dates so that I wouldn't be covering up my checklist boxes. So at this point, I didn't want my vintage glam studios to go to waste, but I had jacked up the weekend sticker so bad that I couldn't use it. So I ended up using the must do sticker on the sidebar instead, and I ended up taking the other boxes that I hadn't used yet or taken off the sticker sheet, and decided to use those in the sidebar because I really didn't want them to go to waste. And this actually worked out perfectly fine because the sidebar doesn't have to be an exact width or height, because you can really just place it wherever since there aren't any lines over there. And so these actually worked great for the sidebar. I ended up layering the last 3 boxes that I had on top of each other, and they actually made a really nice sidebar. Like, I'm thinking about possibly using boxes like that on the side again for next week. So then for the bottom bar, I actually made these new stickers. They're actually a completely different size than any of the sizes I've done in the last 2 weeks. And this time, they're exactly 1.5 inches wide so that they match the same width as the other boxes. And then I made them slightly taller so that it completely fills the bottom section. And they actually have hydrate in the bottom, and they also have meal and workout. I did leave the text on there for the Etsy shop listing. Normally I would take the text out because like the headers I usually keep blank, but for whatever reason I decided to leave it on the sheet. So next week I will make sure to leave those blank, at least the meal and workout section, so you guys can put whatever you want there, but I'll leave the hydrate portion on the bottom unless you guys want to see something else. Just let me know down below what you guys think of these hydrate stickers. I know for me personally, I don't drink enough water, and having this makes me accountable to at least try to drink more water. And as you guys can see, I decided to put yellow in the middle and then alternate green, blue, green, blue, green, blue. Yes, at the bottom, so that I was just having different colors, because I couldn't really get exactly split 3 between 7 days, so I knew I'd have some wonky color, and it just happened to be yellow. So on the sticker sheet, I actually made page flags and teardrops, but I decided to just use the page flags to mark significant events going on this week. I do have rehearsals for this Tuesday, as I did get cast in the show, and then I did want to use coordinating flags for a critical design review I've got for work. It's a really big deal. I normally don't put work stuff in here, but when it's really impactful and it's going to impact my schedule and my day, I really like to put it in my planner so that I know what to expect for the following week. And so then I went ahead and put page flags down so that I could mark them up. So moving on, we've got to fill this bad boy out. Again, I am using my Pilot friction pens. These are the erasable pens, so I like to put in some dates of things that I want to do throughout the week, like groceries, laundry, vacuuming, you know, normal chores. And then of course I wrote on my page flags things that were going on to include my critical design review. It's a 3-day critical design review. I am an engineer for a living. And then of course I wanted to mark my rehearsal, so I put that down. And then any reminders that I have, I like to use the sidebar for that are not specific to any particular day. And then here I'm actually going to put in my workouts, which I am trying to do 21-day fix again, but we'll see if I have the time to do it, because with the rehearsal schedule, I'm already going to have to cut out a lot of my YouTube stuff. Like, I'm pretty much only going to be able to do plan with me videos and vlogs, because I won't have time to film any tutorials or anything once rehearsals start, because it's either YouTube or the play, and right now the play is way more important than YouTube. Sorry guys, but music and acting and dancing have been my passion, and it's what I wanted to do for a living, but it doesn't bring home money, so I ended up doing the next best thing, which is engineering, because I'm really good at math and science. So yep, anyway. That is it for my planner, but I decided to add some butterfly stickers, as I mentioned before, because I really wanted to cover up those areas where I had messed up some of my stickers, either because I didn't cut them properly or because I got them all messed up from the vintage glam studio. So here I'm just putting these random butterflies wherever I can so it's a little bit more symmetric, so I don't just have like 1 or 2 butterflies just sticking wherever. And these are actually from the Dollar Tree. It was like $1 for like 36 stickers. It's awesome. So that is it for this week. Obviously, it'll more than likely change throughout the week, and I decided to do a little bit of decoration with my Office Depot metallic markers to mark off those significant things going on throughout the week, i.e. the critical design review and my rehearsal schedule. As I find out more about my rehearsal schedule, I will probably add more page flags and more critical events to this calendar, but for now, this is what I knew when I filmed this. But that is it. If you guys enjoyed this video, of course, make sure to thumbs up. And if you guys like the voiceover a little bit better than the talk through, then please let me know down below. If you guys enjoy this video, of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Erica from Brains to Beauty.